Herkese merhaba. Yeni bir PDR Talks başlığında bir aradayız. Ben Nihan Gümüşlüoğlu. Bugün uzaklardan İtalya'dan bir misafirimiz var. İtalya'daki iş ortağımız Alvaria şirketinden insan kaynakları danışmanı Maria Rosaria Calace ile birlikteyiz. Bize bugün biraz İtalya'daki durumlardan, neler yaşadıklarından, belki biraz benzerliklerimizden ve farklılıklarımızdan ve oradaki işin özellikle insan kaynakları ve eğitimle ilgili tarafı nasıl gittiğinden bahsedecek. Hi Maria, welcome.
Good morning, Nihan. Thank you.
Good morning, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us, for giving us the time to chat a little bit about the situation in Italy. I hope you're all well and healthy.
Hi, Nihan. Thank you for having invited me. It's a pleasure for me to have this interview. And yes, thank you. Fortunately, I'm healthy, and the situation didn't directly touch me. So yeah, I'm blessed in a way. So yeah, I think to start with the situation in Italy, I will I will make you a nice brief about the situation in Italy, because as you know, we were the first country who were affected by this coronavirus.
Unfortunately.
And, yeah, I remember the 21st of February, I was in Rome, and there was the first case, because we had two Chinese tourists that they were found to be positive of coronavirus. So I remember I was working in the headquarters of my company, that it is in Rome, and when I went to the office, I remember I started to see some people with masks. So in a way, the panic started to be very close. So by that date, now we have overcame China in terms of ill people, actually, because to date we have 105,000 people who are infected, and unfortunately we also have 27,400 people that are dead now. So
it's really high, unfortunately. It's a big loss.
It's a really big loss, and it's a difficult situation, as you know. And we were the first country, so as you know. But now, unfortunately, this virus is around the world.
All around the world. So
exactly.
We are all in the same ship. Everybody is affected in the same way, and still fighting with the virus. And it seems that there will be a long way to go for the vaccination and for the medicine. So we will go through it and see, and hopefully it will finish, it will last, but nobody knows when. This is the big question, I guess. So how was the first days of the quarantine? How did Italians react to be at home? Because as far as I know, we have many similarities with Turkish people and Italian people. We are outwards, we like to be out, we like socializing, drinking coffee, as far as I know, is the Italian way of life. So what was the reaction?
Well, first of all, let's speak about date. We are locked down by the 11th of March, because the Prime Minister signed an act. So from that date, all Italian people were kind of forced in a way to be at home. And of course, as you just said, it was not easy, because we are people who like to socialize, to drink coffee all together, to talk, to meet, to hug, and to have a nice social life. So at the beginning, actually, Italian people were and still are really, in a way, sensible to the situation. So many people just stayed at home, and they didn't try to break the rule. So it was difficult, but the funny thing is that at the beginning we took it in a kind of positive way, let me say, because we were singing from balconies, um, we were trying to be all together in a difficult situation. So the lockdown is still here. Actually, we are still in lockdown, and now I think that people are a little bit tired of it. So because 2 months are maybe um, difficult, let's say, and
I agree.
so the sentiment, the emotion changed, but let's say by the 4th of May we start the second phase. So there are some sectors that will open again. So for example, the manufacturing sector and the wholesales. And the Prime Minister has created a kind of strict calendar for the opening again. Even though, of course, we have to keep the social distance, we have to keep the masks when we are in public places and so on. So I'm really proud actually of my people, of my country, because we were really good in this situation. Even though, as I said before, now it starts to be a little bit annoying. So we would like to, I would say, not to start a normal life, because it's not going to be a normal life, of course, but at least to meet some people, to have some meeting with friends and so on. And
you shared a video with me, this coffee serving video. It's really funny. I would like to stop you for 2 seconds, and I would like to show the video to our audience.
Grazie.
Misura antivirus.
Misura antivirus, grazie.
This is really a funny video, and I know the Italian people loving coffee, because every day, especially espresso, if I'm wrong, please correct me, is a way of life in Italy.
Exactly. So as this video shows, we were very creative at the beginning when we were not in lockdown period yet. So as you see, this barman just was serving a coffee with a shovel because the government said that we have to keep the distance. So they say, okay, how can I serve a coffee then? So everybody started to do some very funny things. And so this was the beginning. And as we have seen also in the other picture before, the one with the Last Supper, which is a mural painting here in Milan, the sentence says, here in Milan we are exaggerating, because the region of Lombardy, that was actually the eye of the storm at the beginning, here in Italy. This picture shows that also the people in the Last Supper just disappeared and they went away because it was not possible to stay all together, you know, and to eat together. So that was, of course, a funny picture that started to go around in social media, and so that was the beginning.
It was the beginning. And as far as I know, Italy is very dependent on the sector of tourism. There are millions of people visiting Italy every year. And now there's a big loss, economical loss, business-wise loss in Italy. What will be the situation? How you see it? Will it be possible for us to visit Italy again? And I don't know when it will be possible, because still in our hearts, we would like to visit Milan, Venice, and many other attractive places in Italy.
Of course, you will be you will be welcome to visit Italy. Right now, we still don't know when the borders will be open in terms of touristic travels. But what I can say is that according to the Prime Minister, the 1st of June there will be the opening of the restaurants and the coffee bars and so on. But in the last days, after the Prime Minister announced this date, there were some troubles because, of course, the union of employers which are in this sector started to complain because we think that it's too late to open because there are some places that are already prepared to open in a safe way. So it's difficult because the gross domestic product of Italy it's linked to tourist sector.
Yeah.
And so there are some companies, they expect 50,000 companies who are going to close because of the lack of liquidity, because of the debt and so on. So it's a difficult situation for the tourist sector. And we forecast that this summer it will be domestic tourism. So Italians will stay, let's hope, let's hope they stay
in their own country.
Italy for their summer vacation.
It will be the same in Turkey as well. Turkey is also depending on tourism sector. Really, it's a huge business and very big. Especially the tourism depends on the Russian tourists in Turkey and European tourists. And it won't be possible for us, especially the Mediterranean region in Turkey is depending economically depending on this tourists. And everybody is affected from this loss. The farmer with the growing tomato, or the laundries, or the big companies like Coca-Cola or Unilever, because they are supplying their products for the hotels. So it will be really a big loss also for Turkey, it seems so.
Do you already know when the restaurants, for example, will be open?
Unfortunately, we are still in the phase 1. We are expecting to be a little bit loosened in the end of May, as for today, if the picture goes like this, if it stays like this, because there are some really positive developments in Turkey. The rate of death and the rate of severe patients are now declining. We are expecting probably in the beginning of June, it will be a little bit loosen, the quarantine. Some of the business and production will open, but still we will be in the way of Italy, keep it in a controlled way. Okay, there was a picture, a very funny picture you shared with me, this tourists with the masks. Let's see it first. Really, probably we're going to be really get used to this mask issue, because it's really difficult. I don't know, for me, also for the other people.
For me as well.
Now I've heard that Louis Vuitton and some, I don't know, Gucci and some other designers are started to design masks for people. So it will be another fashion. I don't know, Italy will be the first probably doing it.
Let's see. Yeah, but the funny thing about these tourists is that the picture started to be published at the beginning. So in a way, they were making joke about about the situation, because as you see in the picture, they say that they just came back from Italy. So in a way, they were like pointing out the fact that in Italy we were already using masks. That was not completely true, but anyway, maybe in summertime we will look like that we have the shape of the mask.
With the mask.
Let's hope not.
Humor really protects us, in my opinion. Also, I see this in Italy as well. We are all stressed and we are all questioning. We have doubts in our minds, how will the life will be, and our business, our jobs, etc. But this humor really protects us a little bit from the stress, and it makes it easier to bear with this difficult situation. Especially in Turkey, now the families are closed at home with the kids and with the couples and sometimes with the parents, and it seems that it's a big exam also for the relations. Being together so long, depending on each other so long, it seems a little bit difficult. How is the situation in Italy?
Let me show this picture.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
As you have seen, this picture explains which are the first effects of quarantine. So because, couples are at home, and, the only thing you can do is to be at home, or to go to the supermarket, or to go to the pharmacy. So, even though you are fighting in your place, then you cannot do much. You can just stay in your place. So the first effects of quarantine is divorce. People that just throw away the picture of the marriage. So this is also, of course, a funny picture.
I've seen another picture 2 days ago. In the balcony, the lady puts a banner, "Husband for sale." So
funny.
Yeah, especially considering that spending 24 hours together is really a big difficulty for people. So now from humor side, now it seems that it's moving to this annoying and boring side. Now, for the first weeks in Turkey, we were, exploring the Zoom and some other, meetings and technology. So we were meeting online, and, some self-development issues, and everything was a little bit excited. It was a big, a new era and a new experience for all of the people. But now we get used to it, and it comes a little bit annoying for the Turkish people, as far as I see. So how is it, how the psychology is now close to the second phase?
Well, what can I say? Waiting. Waiting is the most correct word, I would say, because we are waiting to start. To start working in the office, to start meeting people, of course, with safeguard and so on. But yeah, the feeling is waiting. And I actually got an email yesterday from a client that was a nice one, because I just said wrote a comment to her about this lockdown period, and she said, "But you know what? I think we never met, but I feel like that this distancing is actually making relationship much stronger. I've never met you, but I feel like I've been working with you for my entire life." So this is actually something interesting that is happening. In a way, the more people are far from each other, the more they feel close in a way. Especially when you work together, even though you are with a platform, or you are with just digital technologies.
Exactly. Also, I feel it in my company. We work freelance. We are consultants, so we don't see each other often, maybe from meeting to meeting. And now with this Zoom and with gathering together and discussing the situation, now we see each other more often with this technology, and we are getting to know each other also. So even the neighbors, even the people living close to us, we were, not to put it in the right words, we know them, but we were not caring for them. Now we start to care for them also. We want their, prosperity and well-being. So really, it's changing the way we look to the people, and how we, put the boxes, how we put them in some other boxes. So it will change probably in a good way with the relationships. Let's see this video. It's really nice with this Eastern celebrating from the balcony.
Yeah.
Salute, salute. Allora, mettetevi anche voi al centro. Michele, vedi?
Vai! Avviciniamo il tutto!
Dai, pure lui sta brindando.
Va benissimo!
Salute.
A voi tutti!
So this video, this video is about Easter, because in Easter we were, of course, at home, and what happened was that these people that you have seen in the video have created a nice way of toasting for Easter, even though they were from different balconies. So they were doing cheers. Of course, maybe you don't understand Italian, but what they say was cheers, cheers, because we make it even though, you know, we are far. And this is nice because still, even though you are kind of forced to not meet, you always try to meet, to celebrate together, and to appreciate those days that you can celebrate, of course. So this was really surprising me. So,
also, I thought this situation increases our creativity. We find new solutions, new problems and new solutions. And this creativity is the most far outcome of this period, I guess, for everybody. And also, you send me this wine video. Also, I would like to show it with your permission.
sure, please.
Come si fa a bere il vino con la mascherina? È un casino! Ma io lo so.
So, in the end of the day, he will drink. No
Yeah.
matter what.
So
If
let me
yes,
translate it in English into English. The man said, "I don't know. How can we drink wine with a mask? How can that be possible?" And then he says, "Well, I found a solution." So then he drinks the wine with a straw, and the straw and the wine goes around, and he keeps on drinking. And so that was also part of the creativity of people.
exactly.
We don't know if we are going to drink wine in that way, but
Hopefully no.
my solution.
Hopefully no.
Hopefully not. So also because people are preparing towards the second phase for restaurants. So they try to develop new ways of in order to allow people to stay in restaurants even though they are distant, even though they are safe, and so on. And with regards to creativity, I can also say that, for example, in our company, Alveria, we were maybe, let me say, the first ones who started to give learning contents for free. So you said before that we are using a lot of digital platforms. That's true. And we also are doing that. And at the beginning, when we were thinking, how can this sector, the learning and development sector, can develop? And we didn't really find an answer. But we said, okay, what can we do? And we started to create these online courses that they were completely free. So we say it like in a Latin word, pro bono, which means that it's free and it's a gift towards other people, because in a way, when you are at home, you don't have a lot of mental stimuli. Then we said, okay, what we can do? We can do this. So at the beginning was very nice. We had around 20 people following. And then after 2 months, now we have almost 100 people that follow every online classroom that we do. And this is also very nice because the world is changing. So we also need to adapt. Otherwise, it will be difficult. and
Exactly.
flexibility is important right now.
True. Also, the PDR group in Turkey, in my opinion, I have been working for this company for about 10 years, is one of the agile companies in Turkey reacting to this quarantine. And also, it's a big mindset shift for us. We were giving classroom trainings, and suddenly it's gone. And we put something else instead of class, and this technology helped us. And we designed new trainings, online trainings, video trainings, in e-learning trainings, and also the same path as you did. We did free webinars every week. We are also designing new topics, and it's all free. And it started from 50s, and now it becomes like 200, 250 every week. With a big attendance, and people are asking what is the topic of next week. So people are expecting us to give these webinars continuously. It's also really a big excitement for us, because we have met some people from other cities, from other professionals, from other sectors. Also, it broaden our vision and broaden our contacts in a way we haven't dreamed before. So probably things will be a little bit different on the learning and training side. What do you expect the trainings, and how is it going to transfer for next year or for this year? Do you see a shift?
Absolutely. As far as I know, during 2020, the classroom will be avoided, because it's difficult to have participants in a room and to deliver contents in a safe way. But what we expect is that the learning, the online learning will continue. And what I believe in continuous learning. So what I think is that there will be also a shift within the companies, because the professional working in the L&D, learning and development sector, will start to deliver small contents, but in a heterogeneous way. What I mean is that they will give different contents, and they will maybe track what people like to learn. So instead of saying, okay, you need to do this course, there is a different, instead of being up-down, will be bottom-up. So people can select, exactly,
areas of development for themselves.
Exactly. They can do self-learning with online training with this platform. So they will select what they like to learn, and the HR departments or the learning and development professional can track these preferences in order to develop new courses. So I think that this will be the new future,
probably,
in this sector. Yeah. So smaller contents, but with a very good selection that comes from the preferences of people.
Also, I think that the frequency of contact will be increasing, because before we were giving trainings, and then sometimes we don't see our attendants again. Now we give some courses online, 1 hour, 2 hours, and later on, sometimes we give this coaching support to them. So until next week or in 15 days time, what we give them as a content comes to it live, and come to it and discuss again. And then we give a new context and a new development. So probably this technology gives us to increase the number of contacts, the frequency of the contacts, and probably this would help people develop more strongly, in my opinion.
Exactly. Also because if you think now the market is changing, so a lot of companies are already doing reskilling of competencies. So because jobs are also changing as normal, of course, and So how you do reskilling, teaching new competencies. And so I think that it will be a major process during the next month. And I already know that there are some companies that do this already. So it will become a trend more and more in the future, I believe. Mm-hmm.
True. Okay. For the last question, I heard that, I don't know, it's a rumor, but Italian people started to cook again. Especially this pizza and, you know, tiramisu and, you know, pasta. Are you one of them started to cook again?
Yes,
Old
I
recipe?
am. Yes, I am. At the beginning of the lockdown, it was impossible to find flour and oats as well. So so people started to do home cooking, and maybe before you could buy, I don't know, a pizza for 5 to 10 euros and say, okay, let's buy it. You know, instead of cooking at home, it takes too much time. You know, you need to be fast in this world and so on. But this stop, the lockdown, started to make people think about cooking at home again and doing pizza, tiramisu, lasagna, parmigiana, a lot of food. And right now, it's possible to find flour, fortunately. But the problem is that you cannot find alcohol in supermarket. I don't mean drinking alcohol. I mean the alcohol to clean the table. Exactly. So another fun information is that we have different kinds of pasta. And at the beginning, people were buying tons of pasta, kilos and kilos of pasta. Like
also it happened out of stock.
Easy to cook. Yeah, exactly. It was out of stock. And the funny thing was that only one kind of pasta were there. So that are penne, but without the lines. So it's yeah, a kind of penne. And the funny thing was that they started to say, you know, now we just realized that Italian people don't like this kind of pasta because it was the only pasta available. So
it was a panic.
So that was also something funny. By the way, I hope that we will become, let's say, safe, completely safe again in the next a very close future. I really hope that they find vaccine, because if we speak about it, coming back to normal life, honestly, it depends on the vaccine, because there are a lot of people who don't have symptoms. There are a lot of people who don't know that they are infected, and they continue to go around maybe, and there is no check about that. So the vaccine will save our future.
Yeah, this is all our hope for the next few months. I've heard in the news yesterday, Harvard University is making a good process on this vaccination. We're hoping, but still we have time to go because we have to test and everything. But this will end. I don't know when, but it will end, and then we'll be living in prosperity, in health, and in good condition for all the people, not only for Italy, not only for Turkey. This quarantine shows that the total well-being is very important. If you're safe at home, doesn't mean anything. So we should be safe in the world for all the people. And I wish those days will come soon. Thanks, Maria, for your really
Can I show you another picture?
Yeah, the last picture.
So this is a funny picture about how summer will look like. Because after a lot of days lockdown with a lot of pizza, a lot of pasta, you know, you also have the gyms that are closed. So let me show you how maybe the summer will look like.
Hopefully we won't look like that, but still.
So yeah,
thank you,
Rihan, for inviting me.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye. See you soon.